How you guys doing? Jeff? So, all right. I grew up as a middle child. Any middle childs here? All right, a few of them. But I didn't really have, I got it more than I thought, wow. I didn't really have the typical middle child syndrome. In fact, my brother and sister would always say to each other, "Oh, Jeff thinks he's better than us." Which is really weird because I actually didn't think they were that insightful. When I was younger, my dad, he was this wannabe hippie, and there was this one time I remember, and it's like really embarrassing. He'd always do these really embarrassing things. It's all unpredictable. He made a sandwich board and he painted the words "Peace Through Music" on the sandwich board. And this was during the LA riots, and then he went and walking down Wilshire Boulevard wearing "Peace Through Music." And I was like, "Dad, what's peace through music? You don't even play an instrument." And all he did was he looked at me and he goes, "Shh, peace through music." And that kind of didn't know what to say after that. My dad would also always bring home these like kind of far out people, and they'd come over to our house, sometimes stay with us for a while. And one time my friends came over and they're like, "Jeff, who's that big black woman living in your hallway?" I'd be like, "Oh, that's Jessica. That's our metaphysical spiritual healer." And they're like, "But why is she there?" I'm like, "Duh. You mean you don't have a metaphysical spiritual healer who chases away the evil spirits? I'm not staying over at your place anymore." My mom, she was kind of, she had this really like specific view of the world, and if you didn't fit into that view, she was like, "Well, I can't help you then." And so one day I wasn't feeling sick when I was really young. I was like, "Mom, can you just call in sick for me? I'm not feeling well." She's like, "I don't know. You don't seem sick enough to warrant a sick day. You should use a personal day." "Mom, I'm 8. I don't get personal days." "Well, I guess you should have negotiated a better benefits package with the principal's office." All right, fine. My mom also was like really bad at giving gifts. She would give these gifts she thought were great, really practical. So one year I got like a cutting board, and one year I got like paper clips and binder clips. Another year I got socks. Okay, those seem like decent practical gifts, just not when you're 11. So, one year I'm opening my gift, and I'm like, "Jumper cables? Mom, I'm not even old enough to drive." "Well, you're going to thank me one year when you're stranded by the road, and it's raining, and your car won't move." All right, thanks, Mom. We'll put them away for 5 years. So my mom also was really obsessive with our dogs. She'd cook eggs and gravy for the dogs. Nothing for me to eat, but I turn around, she's making gravy for 40 minutes. And I couldn't figure out how the dogs would get all this attention. So I'm thinking about, one day I figured it out. And decided to one-up the dogs, I peed on the couch. I had to do it multiple times, I guess. My mom also, she was really, like I said, obsessed with dogs, and she got them vaccinated like more often than you need to, like shots 3 times a year, and she's really concerned. One day she saw the thermometer, she's like, "Oh my God, 103-degree temperature, we have to go, let's go. We all jump in the car, the dog jumps in the car, and then she's like, "Oh, Mac looks pretty good for having 103 degrees. I'm like, "No, Mom, I have 103-degree temperature." She's like, "Oh, okay, everyone out of the car, you'll just power through it." We did do one really traditional thing as a family. It was kind of a miracle. We all went to the Grand Canyon. We all got in the car, my mom, my dad, brother, my sister Elise, we all piled in and drove out, and it was great time. And when we left, I was like, "Oh, Mom, wasn't that that was a great time?" We all bonded. She's like, "I don't know, can you believe how great that was? That cafe had real whipped cream." And I was like, "Mom," she's always like reveling in the little things, not missing kind of the big picture. And I'm like, "Mom, no, the Grand Canyon wasn't great." She's like, "I know, it's not even out of a can." So I'm like, "Wait a second, where's Elise?" "Oh, I don't know. Anyway, did you see the valet guy? His scarf was solid wool." Great, Mom. All right. So my wife and I were expecting our first child. Thank you. We're doing March. And, people are like, aren't you nervous? First kid, you don't know what to expect. And I'm like, no. I'll be fine because, 8 months ago, we got a cactus. And that thing is still really green. No, like really green. And, you have to water it once a month. I'm right on top of that. And it needs a moderate amount of sunlight, so I make sure it gets not too much sunshine, not too little sunshine. Cactus is doing great. I think we'll be fine. But my wife, she's half Chinese, half Mexican. Makes her Chexican. And so our daughter's going to be half Chexican, half Jewish. And so I'm excited, but part of me's a little worried, because I'm worried it's just going to be this whole traffic jam of oppression. And but I get pretty excited about one thing. When she's a little older, I'll only have to pay her $1 to mow my lawn. Don't worry. It's not like she won't make money. I mean, she's definitely going to overcharge me for all the dry cleaning. But one day I'm going to have this conversation that I'm dreading, and I'm going to have to sit her down, and I'm going to be like, honey, a couple things you need to know. Pretty soon you're going to be able to take advantage of all kinds of scholarships and affirmative action. You're going to get a leg up in hiring. And then one day when you're driving at nighttime, you'll be pulled over for no reason at all. It'll be great. So anyway, thanks a lot for your time, and have a great holiday. And I just want to leave everyone with one word: peace through music.